Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is well and happy. I hope everyone is enjoying their time uh, currently with the whole classes and all that is going on. It's just that you know now when we're doing assessments, it's a good time for also reflection because now you actually start to see that do you understand something, don't you understand something, what are the problems that are you meeting, what are the concepts that are your challenges. This is the time whereby now you get to understand for yourself to say that am I getting it or am I not getting it? Am I arriving at the goalpost or I'm uh, uh, just 2 steps away? This is what is very, very important for you guys. It's very important for you guys to understand that you need to first understand it for yourself. Uh, you need to understand it for yourself firstly, and then after that, after understanding for yourself, you need to also try and look to say that you need to also try and look to say that what is my main problem, what don't I understand, what am I failing to understand. You understand? And then above all, you need to find it within yourselves. You need to find it within yourselves to say, how do I now actually try my best to work with these things? How do I try my best to find the balance? Because I think the problem is that we've gone over so many things and maybe you don't find the balance yet. So now it's important, guys. The test is there online. Same place where you find all your other tests, it's under maths. The same website where you find all the other tests, the africateamgeeks.co.za. You go there under assessments, you go there under grade 6 maths. Your test is there, it's ready and waiting. It's there for you, it's ready and waiting. All you need to do is just write it. Then on Thursday, what we're going to do on Thursday is that we're going to do corrections. After we do the corrections, that's where now you get to actually see things to say, wait, do I actually understand this? Don't I understand this? You actually get to look for the missing gaps that you might have so that you actually now have you actually get to also look at the questions that you might have, you know, the questions that might come to heart, the questions that are really bothering to say, sir, I saw that, because once you've written the test, you'll be able to ask and say, sir, I saw that when I was doing it, the test, my problem was bringing down. Then we start investigating the best way to find a way for you to understand how to bring down. You say, sir, I saw that my problem was multiplying. We find a way to teach you how to multiply. Sir, I saw that my problem was dividing. We find a way to teach you how to divide. That's what the biggest thing that the test must do for you. The test must make sure, it must help you find a way of seeing the problems you have. And then once you see the problems you have and are able to address the problems you have, then you can actually come back and say, okay, sir, let us work together to actually help me with my problem. My problem is this. Let's work actually together to help me with my problem. Here's my email address. Here's my Twitter account. One of the most important things you must have in your life right now is my email address. That one is the most important thing right now for you, is my email address. And then my Twitter handle is just for direct messages. If you want to send a message to me directly or chat, you can do it through Twitter. Right. So these are what is on your test. You have multiplication, you have addition, you have division, you have word problems, you have fractions. That's what's on your test right now. Then we went through prime numbers. I told you guys what are prime numbers. I said prime numbers are numbers that can only be divided, that are numbers that can only be, what's this? Be divided by 1 and themselves. Meaning that a prime number itself, is not divisible by anything but 1 and itself. Meaning that the result of dividing a prime number, you must get 1. That's why some places are still challenging if 1 is a prime number. But it does qualify as a prime number because there's nothing else that divides it. There's nothing that divides 5 besides 5. There's nothing else that divides 7 besides 7. There's nothing else that divides 11 besides 11. There's nothing else that divides 23 but 23. That's why with fractions, if you end up finding that you have simplified so much that you'll end up going to a prime number, it means you are done. The minute you see you've got 4 over 5, 23 over 24, you're done. Because that is the purpose of a prime number. That is the purpose of a prime number. Prime number is only divisible by 1 and itself. That's all. Right. Factors are numbers that when you multiply, you get another number. So if I look at the factors of 10, I say, look, what are factors of 10? 1 times 10 gives me 10. That means that the factors of 10 are 1 and 10. 2 times 5 gives me 10, meaning the factors of, that means 2 and 5 are factors of 10. What else? So it's 1 and 10, 2 and 5. Yeah, that's it. So that's what our factors are. Factors are numbers you multiply to get a particular number. And factors are terminating, meaning that you don't go beyond the number that you must find the factors for. You won't end up saying you're finding out the factors for 10 and then you have 11. No, it doesn't work like that. Factors end there. You write a list of numbers that you can use to multiply together that give you the particular number. Those are factors. And then multiples are counting on. So multiples is just like adding the same number over and over and over and over and over again. So the multiples of 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. Those are the multiples of 2. The multiples of and you go on, the multiples of 4, 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. So you keep on going on and on and on. Hence, that's why multiples, you can even say, okay, give me the 5th multiple of 4. What's 4 times 5? 20. Or when you count, add 4 5 times, you get what? 20. You see? So those are multiples. So now I've explained multiples, I've explained factors, and I've explained prime numbers. These are important for your test. Those who have seen the test would know that these are important for your test. Would know that these are also important for your test. Who have seen it? Those who have seen it. Right. So now, when we are dealing with fractions, I always say, guys, when we're dealing out with fractions, it's important that you know that you only add, subtract, or multiply fractions. We don't divide fractions. Please, guys, make sure you keep in your mind that you never divide fractions. Fractions, you never, ever, 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 ever in your life are going to divide fractions. Ever. What happens with a fraction when you are dividing a fraction is that you are changing the sign, right, to multiplication. Because those are the three operations that only work on fractions. The nice thing about multiplying fractions is the fact that you don't have to worry whether the fractions are the same or not. It doesn't matter. What matters is you change, if it's dividing, you change the operation to multiplication, and then you swap the numerator of the denominator and the denominator of the numerator. Hence, if you have 4 over 5 divided by 2 over 3, you're going to have 4 over 5 multiplied by 3 over 2. You swap the numerator with the denominator with the numerator. Then you multiply. Numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. You get your answer. Then you simplify. Simplification of this, it's an improper fraction. And when you simplify an improper fraction, you go directly to a mixed fraction. Please write that down. When I simplify an improper fraction, I go directly to a mixed fraction. What is an improper fraction? An improper fraction is a fraction where the numerator is bigger than the denominator. What is the numerator? The top number. What is the denominator? The bottom number. So an improper fraction is when you multiply, when the numerator is bigger than the denominator. And when I simplify an improper fraction, I'm going directly to a mixed fraction. When I simplify an improper, I go to a mixed fraction. Please, 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 please have that. When you simplify an improper, you are going to a mixed fraction. But you do find when you have a proper fraction, right? When you have a proper fraction, you simplify, you go to another proper fraction. Or when you're simplifying a mixed fraction, when you're simplifying an improper fraction, you're going to a mixed fraction. When I'm converting a mixed fraction, I'm going to an improper fraction. Please have that in mind. Are there any questions so far before we continue? Are there any questions so far before we continue? Are there any questions? Does anybody have a question? Does anybody have a question? Are there any questions so far before we go ahead? Are there any questions so far before we go ahead? Are there any questions so far before we go ahead? Are there any questions so far before we go ahead? Right, beautiful, beautiful. I see hands are raised. No hand. There are no questions. No, no, guys. No, 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 no. No question at all. I can't be that much of a good teacher. Are we sure there's no question? I really love a question. Right, here's a question. Good. Hello. Hello, how are you?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm great.
Okay.
So what is your question? Yep.
See at the end when we're almost done.
Can you
example 12 over 10 equals 1 over 1 over 5. Do we simplify?
Yes.
How do we simplify, sir?
Right. You see here what they did was they said 10 into 12. So now let me ask you, don't look at this. But if I tell you to, let's try and simplify 10 into 12. How many 10s do you find in 12?
1.
Right. So I have 1, right? And then
sir.
What do I do? What do I do? I keep the denominator the same, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
So I keep the denominator the same. Remember, we're simplifying from improper to mixed. So you keep the denominator the same. Now I say 1 times 10 is what?
1 times 10 is...
1 times 10 is what?
10.
If I say 1 times 10, it's what?
1.
1 multiplied by 10.
10, sir.
Yes. So now, what must I add to 10 to get 12?
2.
So I have 2. So then this moves to this, right? Then
Yes.
the next step is, what number can be divide both 2 and 10? What number can divide both 2 and 10?
1.
Think about it. What number can divide, besides 1, what number can divide 2 and 10?
2 and 10.
Yes. What number can divide both 2 and 10 at the same time?
2.
Exactly. So what is 2 divided by 2?
1.
Right. What is 10 divided by 2?
5.
That's how they did it.
Oh. Okay, wait, so I want to copy this down so I won't forget.
All right. 100%.
Thank you, sir.
No problem. No problem at all. Please copy it down. Copy down this, and then we move on to the next question. Then we move on, then we go to multiplication and division. Yes. Yes, guys. That's how we work. You see? Once you understand the how of something, once you understand the how, it's very easy to continue with everything else. What's important is understanding the how and the why. I always tell you guys, understanding the how and the why in maths is important. So are you guys done writing this down so that I can move right along to the next one? So we can move right along. We've got like 25 minutes left. So I want us to move right along. Please, 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 please. So we can move right along. Awesome. Awesome, 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 awesome. Quickly, quickly write. 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 All right. Okie dokie. Let's move on to the next. Right. So when we multiply fractions, guys, it does not matter whether the fractions are the same, the fractions are different. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all. Why? Because you're just multiplying the numerator with the numerator, the denominator with the denominator, then you simplify. And always when you simplify, you ask yourself a question. What number can divide both these two? You find that number, use that number to divide them. For example, 4 times 3 is 12. 5 times 10 is 50. What can divide both 12 and 50? It's 2. What is 12 divided by 2? 6. What is 50 divided by 2? 25. You're done. Done. You're done. You've simplified. You're done. End of story. Once you find now, you can no longer divide these by any other number. You are done. You're finished. End of story. No more questions. Completo. Done. Done, 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 done. You're done. You're finished. You've completed the whole equation. Please write these steps down. I'll give you guys 2 minutes to do it. 2 minutes to write down everything. Would be preferable if you would take a screenshot, but writing, if you are a master, if you want to write, write. So 2 minutes has started. Please write this. So you put them next to each other. You multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. Then you simplify. Then you're done. Then your life moves on. That's it. Then we discuss how the division of fractions work. And then we go to division, then we go to multiplication. And then I think you guys are ready for your tests. Please, guys. Please write your tests. Write them. Don't be scared. This is for you. It helps you out. You know why? Once you find yourself at a position where you're able to actually quiz yourself, that means you now fully understood something. because that proves understanding. Once you're at a position to actually quiz yourself and sit down with a pen and paper or something and quiz yourself or be quizzed, now it shows that no, I truly understand. Like, I truly understand. Like, there's nothing stopping me from understanding. I truly, truly understand. All right. All right. Awesome. So let's look at how we convert mixed fractions. Right. So always, guys, in the conversion of mixed fractions, you keep the denominator the same. When you are converting a mixed into an improper, you keep the denominator the same. What are you trying to find out now? I am trying to find out what is my numerator of this mixed fraction. Denominator will always stay the same. The denominator never changes. What changes is the numerator. To say that now, how do I get a numerator? So you always multiply with the denominator and you add the numerator. Always it works like that. You multiply with the denominator and you add the numerator. And we say 3 times 4 is 12 plus 1 is 13. 4 times 5 is 20 plus 1 is 21. Over 4 over 5. The denominators always remain the same. What you are trying to do is that you are trying to find out your numerators. So this whole process is just for your numerator. The entire process you're doing over here is just for your numerator. The whole process that you're trying to do is just to get the numerators. That's it. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Nothing more, nothing less. Please write this down. Then we go to the division of fractions. Please write this down. Please do write this down. If you have a question, ask now, please. Please do ask if you have a question. If you have a question, please do ask now. Please do ask now if you have a question. Please do ask now if you have a question. Yes, we are going to do division. Right now, I just want you to write this down, and then after writing it down, we'll go to the division of fractions, and then we also just take a quick look at division completely and also multiplication, and then we are done. Then we are done. Then we are done. Then we are done. All right. Okay. I think we're done writing. I think we're done writing. I hope everyone is done writing. Let's go to the division of fractions. So, when we are dividing fractions, right? When we are dividing fractions, right? When we are dividing fractions, it's very important that we remember one thing. We want, and I hope everyone is listening to me very carefully. we want to move, if we're here, we want to move from here to here, right? So let's look at it at a mixed fraction point. I say that I keep my denominators the same, right? I keep the denominators the same. Then I say, what is 7 times 5? It's 35. Plus 3 is 38. What is 3 times 3? It's 9. Plus 1, it's 10. Then I get here 38 over 5 divided by 10 over 3. I must change this into this, right? I must change my division into a multiplication. When I change it, something must happen with this, meaning that the denominator, the one, this 3 that was a denominator and the division part becomes a numerator. Whatever was a numerator becomes a denominator. And I multiply. I multiply numerator with numerator, denominator with denominator. My answer is 84 over 50. Then I have what? 84. Sorry, this is actually, this is wrong. This is, this is not right. Sorry about that. This is not 84. That I made a big oopsie over here. I did a big oopsie. I miscalculated. It's not 84 because we're dealing with 38. So it's not 84. It is 114. I made a big oopsie here. It's 114, guys. Sorry about that. It's 114. So having 114, right? Having 114 over 50. Yes, I made a big oops here. It's not 84, it's 114. So having 114 over 50. 50 goes into 114 how many times? 2 times. Denominator stays the same, right? And then, what is it? 2 times 50 is what? 2 times 50 is 100. Plus what gives me 114? 14. Then I say to myself, what can divide both 50 and 14 at the same time? What can divide both 50 and 14 at the same time? What can divide 50 and 14 is 2. So my final answer would be what? 2, 7 over 25. Yes, I just made an oopsie here, but 38 times 3 is 114. 5 times 10 is 50. And I said, how many times does 50 go into 114? 2 times. Then I have 14 over 50. Then I just simplify. Please write this down, then we do one more. Please write this down, then we do one more. Please write it down, then we do one more. Please write this down, then we do one more. One more. Please write this down, then we do one more. Do one more. Can I please get notification if you guys are done? Can I please be notified if you guys are done? Awesome. 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 Let us just try the top one quickly. Right? So I say 35 over 6 divided by this into a multiplication, right? This changes into a multiplication. Then I swap 6 over 5, then becomes 6 over 5. Numerator, denominator. Let's say 35 times 6 gives me what? 10. 6 times 5 gives me 30. Then I say this divided by this gives me 7. I'm done. Please write the top one down so I can go, and I would have let you guys do the exercise, but I wanted to explain division and multiplication. Are we happy with the division and multiplication of fractions? Are we happy with the division and multiplication of fractions? Are we happy with the division and multiplication of fractions? Are we happy with the division and multiplication of fractions? Are there any questions in terms of the division and multiplication of fractions? Is there anyone who is lost? Is there anyone who is lost? Are we all happy with the division and multiplication of fractions? Are we good? Are we happy? Are we surviving? So that I can explain also what's this division, and then after I explain division, we go and we do multiplication a bit, and then after that we close. If we're all happy and everyone is done writing, I'm moving on to division. Right. So in division, you follow the same process. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. Over and over and over. Divide, multiply, subtract, bring down. 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 Always, 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 always. Then we go, then we say this. We tell ourselves, we ask, since this is 3 digits, I'm only going to divide into 3 digits and more. Because my divisor, isn't this is my divisor? This is my dividend, and this is my quotient. So my divisor is 3 digits. And so it's asking me to divide into 3 digits and more. The first 3 digits I meet are 202. I can't do that. The next one I meet is 2025. I can. What is 25 into 2025? Goes how many times? 8 times. Why? Count in 250. Counts in 250s. You'll end up finding that to get to 2000, because there's the 2025 is not a multiple of 250. So you know the one before that is 2000, which is a multiple, which goes what? 8 times. 8 times 250 is 2000. 2025 minus 2000 is what? 25. Bring down the 0. 250 into 250 goes once. 1 times 250 is 250. 250 minus 250 is 0. We're done. The same process over and over again. And you're always going to subtract multiples of the number. Always you're going to be subtracting multiples of the number. Always, 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 always. You're going to be subtracting multiples of the number. That's what's going to be happening. Always you are going to be subtracting multiples of the number. Are there any questions? Are there any questions at all? That is division, guys. Division is as simple as that. Are there any questions? Does anyone have a question? Please write this down. But does anyone have a question? Or who understands? Can I please get notified who understands? If you understand now, it's good. That's the process of division. Division, you must always remember, I'm going to be always subtracting a multiple. And I'm always going to be searching for my multiple using the divisor. Hence, therefore, if I find that the number that I want to divide into is not a multiple of it, I'm going to be looking for the multiple of my divisor before that number. That is division. It's simple as that. It's simple as that. Let's go for another example. I hope you guys done writing there. Look here. I've got 172, right? This is 3 digits, right? So I can only divide with 3 digits and more, right? I can only divide 3 digits and more, right? So I ask myself, how many times does 172 go into my first 3 digits, which is 177? It goes what? Once. How many 172s will you find in 177? Only one. 1 times 172 is what? 172. 172 minus 177 is what? Or 177 minus 172 is what? 5. I bring down the 0. This is 50. And I still have to divide because I just freshly brought it down. Since this is less than this, I know that in my quotient there's a 0. So I won't say 172 into sorry, it's not 1 yet. Making it look, this is supposed to be 0 here. 0 because my answer is supposed to be 50. Sorry about that. My answer is supposed to be 50. I was thinking I'm subtracting 0 here. My answer is supposed to be 50. So I say 172 into 50 goes what? 0. 0 times 172 is what? 0. 50 minus 0 is 50. Hence I've got the answer is 10, remainder 50. Why? Because this is less than that. There's nothing else to bring down. I'm done. Let me take a question. Hello. 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 All right. There was no response there. There's no response there. There we go. There's no response. It's fine. There we go. So I hope we are fine because now we are running out of time and I need to go to multiplication. I hope we are fine. Please write this down. Please write this down. I hope we are fine. Please write this down. Please write that down. Please write that down as quick as possible. I hope we are done writing. I would have wished to explain multiplication, but seems time is not going to agree with me. Time is not going to agree with me. So I hope we're done writing this. There we go. This is supposed to be a 0 because I'm subtracting a 0. But at the end of the day, as I've been saying, what is our prime focus is to always subtract remainder multiples, except in a circumstance where you're going to have a 0 in your quotient. That's where you won't subtract the multiple. Whenever you have a 0 in the quotient, that's where you won't subtract the multiple. It's the only circumstance. Right, let's go to multiplication. So in multiplication, guys, I've got 83 multiplied by 72, right? 83 multiplied by 72. When I look at 83 multiplied by 72, I must go for it as digit for digit. So I say 2 times 6, 2 times 8 is 16. I leave it there. This one was for the unit, right? Remember that in this circumstance, our friend from Pretoria named place value is very important. Our friend from Pretoria named place value is very important. Very, very important. Extremely important. Our friend from Pretoria place value is very important. Right? And this sun is for our unit side. Then I go to my tens side. This is for my tens. I say 0 as a placeholder. Having 0 as a placeholder, I say, what is 7? Remember that I'm multiplying with tens now. Hence, I'll have 0 as my placeholder. What is 7 times 3? It's 21. So I put a 1, I carry 2. What is 7 times 8? Is 56 plus 2 is 58. Then I just add the top with the bottom. 6 plus 0 is 6. 1 plus 6 is 7. 1 plus 8 is 9. 5 plus nothing there is 5. My answer is 5,976. That's all. Then here, what I do is that I break it up. I say 80 and 3 multiplied by the 2 here, because it's what? It's this multiplied by this, and this multiplied by this. Then this multiplied by this, then this multiplied by this. So my first question is, what is 3? The 3 times 2, 6. What is the 80 times 2? It's 160. What is the 3 multiplied by 70? It's 210. What is 80 multiplied by 70? 5,600. And I just add up all these results and I get 5,976. Then you are done. Then you are done. Simple as that. Simple as that. Then you are done. Please write this down so I can give you your homework. Please write this down so I can give you your homework. Please write this down so I can give you your homework. Are there any questions so far? So that means we've understood division, we've understood multiplication, we've understood everything. It means we've understood everything. And that means we're done. That's the end of my story, guys. Unless you guys have questions. Unless you guys have questions. That's my end of my story. I'll leave it at that so I can show you your homework. Yeah, unless you guys have questions. We're done. You are ready for your test. Are there any questions? Here's your homework. And also do your test. Are there any questions? If you have any problems, guys, please send me an email. Send me an email. Whatever. Send me an email, please. If you have any problems, send me an email. Please do send me an email. If you have any problems, please do send me an email. But we're done, guys. We are done. If you have any other issue, just send me an email. Problem solving, all you need to do is just think about the sum. That's all. What are they asking you? Are they asking you to divide, multiply, or add or subtract? That's problem solving. What are they asking you to do? And that's all. So guys, are there any questions? We have 2 minutes left. Questions, suggestions, anything? Going once, going twice, going 3 times. All right. Have a blessed afternoon. Stay awesome, stay relaxed, stay fun, stay good people. I love you all. Stay fantastic. See you tomorrow. And always remember that you are the most special being in the world. Nothing defeats you. Nothing will defeat you. And you forever be the champions of the world because you are our future. Goodbye and see you on the other side. Goodbye, everyone. Goodbye.